the Benoni Brutal Crush Preset and Groove Pack for BFD3. Let's go through this real quick so you can understand what you're getting here. First, off the top, you'll be getting this folder here. Of course, it's going to be zipped. Inside, of course, there's a README. Two different folders. Grooves folder. Now, you're going to have a MIDI folder. If you're using BFD3, you can ignore this unless you just want to use, if you just want to use the MIDI. There's 128 grooves in all metal style grooves. All right. I just include the MIDI for convenience sake, really. But if you're a BFD3 user, what you'll want is the palettes. So 3 different palettes, okay? 128 grooves, metal style grooves in all there. All right. Then there's the preset folder, 3 different presets. Pay no attention to the icon there. Your icon will be different from mine. There's 3 presets here. Of course, you're going to see 6 items. That's because there's the PNG image file included, which you always see right down there. All right, so that's what you get. That's what the folder is going to look like. Not a very big download at all. And these are free. Of course, you can't bundle these up and sell them as your own or pass them off. If you want somebody else to have them, just direct them to this video. Download link will be in the description. So how do you install these? Well, you can just take your grooves, for example, come to Documents, FXpansion. Again, we're on Windows here. BFD3, grooves, and then you just drop those palettes in here. I wouldn't drop the MIDI in here. If you want to use the MIDI, you can use the MIDI for other drum programs. And by the way, even if you don't have Crush or you don't even have BFD3, you can still download this pack and use the MIDI with any other drum program out there. All right. Even if you don't have Crush, you can still use the palettes, with any kit that you want. So that's your first option, is to drop your grooves right into your user groove folder. Same thing for the presets. Just go to the presets folder, come down to presets here, and just drop them in here. Okay, then rescan your paths in BFD3 tools, and you can of course set up your content locations and rescan those paths. The other option is come here to File and import presets, or load presets from File if you just want to load them. And for your grooves, come over here to Grooves, back up to File, and you can come down here and load grooves from File. So there's 2 ways to get all of these included grooves and presets into BFD3 really quick, really easy. All right, so let's go ahead and go over what's included here. Once you get your presets in here, this is what they will look like. You should be able to come here to Library if it's on all. Library and Benoni Brutal Crush. There's your 3 presets. Come to Grooves, and you can come to Author. These will be under BenoniStudio. Okay, and you can find your Crush grooves right here. Again, you don't have to have Crush to use these palettes. Okay, I just created them with Crush, and I named them Crush because they're included with this pack. A total of 128 grooves, metal style grooves. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I think you need to hear a little bit of this. Again, there's going to be 3 separate videos for each of these, like I always try to do. But let's play a little bit of this. Now this is let me turn this down just a bit. Okay, this is the War. So again, the War is the raw kit, the more live sounding kit. Of course, I have our kicks linked. I have the trigger one up higher than the kick there. We'll just hit play here. There is take that off. There is a drum track included with each of these. Of course, you can change it around however you want. And I'll just hit play here. Actually, let me come down here and turn this to 111 because that's what this is technically supposed to be on. Of course, with grooves and BFD3, you can play back your grooves at any BPM that you want. That's the cool thing about BFD3. Let me go back and start at the beginning. There we go. Very good. So you can hear that more live sound, all the ambience coming through. Just let it get into it here. And here we come. Just a much more live sound. Still sounds good. It would sound great with raging guitars on there. But you're definitely going to hear once we go to Hate and Death how much more produced those kits are. Okay. So as you can see, even like the snare, I have quite a bit going out there to the ambient mics. Same for hi-hat and all of our cymbals and toms and things. Much more ambience on this kit. Again, this kit is great to use as a template for Crush if you have Crush, because you can have everything set up and then you can quickly swap things out. And one thing I would definitely suggest you try swapping out is the snare, and that holds true for all of these. Come to drums here, and we'll go to Crush. The snares included with Crush are second to none. Now, I really like this one here, the AXM Open High. It just sounds just great. You know, there's a ring to it. Now, I do have this damped a little bit, but that ring, once you have those raging guitars, you're not going to hear that ring, okay? That's going to help cut through. But definitely come through here if you have Crush and try out some of these other snares. They're really, really good. And same thing if you have, of course, any of the other expansion packs or, say, metal snares, for example. Great snares included with metal snares. And they fit in great with all of these kits here. But for this pack, I just wanted to use things that were included with Crush. So let me come back to presets just so you can hear the difference between, let's go up here real quick, say bar 25. So if you hear the raw kit here, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the Hate preset here. Now this is a much more produced kit, and you'll actually be able to just drag this one in, and it's going to sound pretty much perfect, drag and drop, for your metal, for all your metal needs, whether it's death metal or hardcore, gent, new American metal, groove metal, all those metals. This kit works great. Now the Hate and the Death have an extra ride versus the War. Okay, there is that ride from BFD3 that I always like to put in there because I personally like to have 2 rides, and there's just this 1 ride included. Okay, so this kit here has much more produced sound already, and there's more low end in this kick than there is in the Death. We can check the effects here. Let me come back down here. You can see there's more low end here. And we're not using a lot of this kick here. We're using mostly the trigger sound, or what I call the trigger sound, or kick 2 sound. But there, that low end is contributing. And just like the previous kit, you try swapping out these snares here. So in this case, grooves, here is our included drum track. So you can just start playing and just hear how everything sounds really quick. There, this one should be, this is Hate, so we're on 92 BPM. Type that in. Very good. Let's just hear a little bit of this so you can hear how much more produced this this kit is. Hear that low end of that kick. A great produced sound. You'll also notice I have the ambience really far down. I have the cymbals pretty far down. I don't want them to, scream through because I want our guitars and our screamer to be heard. But of course, come in here and adjust things however you want. So a much more produced sound there. And of course, I could mute that kick. Or mute that one. Or just, of course, adjust the ratio. If I just go to just the kicks, could adjust the ratio. Have more of this one in there. Gives it a bit of a warmer, punchier sound a bit. Whereas if you pull it down, it's going to pop through a little bit more. All right, so just mess around with your ratios there. But as you can tell, this kit is set up to go. Maybe try a different snare on this. Just choose this one. That one already sounds good right there. And we could try, say, the Joey Jordison snare. That sounds great too. All right, so let's move on to the Death preset. And you're going to notice there's less low end in this preset right here. So this one is set up slightly differently in that it has 2 snare sounds linked together. A bit of that low sound, plus of course my favorite AXM Open High. Just gives it a bit more throatiness, a bit more of that thwack, right? And these kicks are a little bit different too. But you'll hear, the difference you can see already in the low end, how we're trimming that out differently. Okay. And this, kick number 1 is a little bit higher than it was on Hate. Of course, again, adjust the ratios however you want. Now this one, let's go to here. You can see all of the grooves that will already be in here. Of course, you can always come to grooves and load them into any preset that you want. And go back to grooves. And this is death. This is 122. 122. Very good. Back here. Back here. And we'll just try this out here. So you immediately hear the difference in that kick. It's not quite as boomy. And the snares are a little bit different. Toms are a little bit different. Overall, ratio of the ambience is much lower than the war kit. Cymbals are a bit lower because I don't want them to be too washy. I just want to hear them. You can, of course, adjust that however you want. And of course, our parallel compression, turn that off. You're going to have a bit more of a dynamic kit, but with it turned on, it's going to punch you in the face a little bit harder. Of course, you can always turn that up if you want more. That's way too much. We're losing fidelity there. As you can tell, this kit is already tuned perfectly for metal. You can just drop this in and it's ready to go, Just go to the kicks there. Maybe mute this one. Mute this one. Very good. All right, so that's about it. So there you go. That is the Benoni Brutal Crush preset and groove pack. Again, you get 3 perfectly tuned presets for metal and 128 metal style grooves. And Crush already comes with 10 really good presets, which is nice to have. And the 3 that you'll download here fit in well with that. These are brutal. The ones I'm providing you, these are brutal presets for you to just drop right in, grab your 7, 8, 9 string guitar and start flailing away. And you can have a screamer coming right down the middle, and you're still gonna get a really punchy drum sound. It'll still pop right through. Again, always, try some different snares, try different ratios and whatnot. Maybe pull your snare up even higher if you want. If you really want it to pop out. Or lower. Of course, you have your reverb, your snare reverb. All right. So again, if you want to learn more about how these are put together, all of the sins and things like that, parallel compression and why I tune things the way I do, you can always watch that in-depth video for the Benoni Signature Metal Pack. Set up the same way. I'm not going to reiterate everything here, but this is the Benoni Brutal Crush preset and groove pack for BFD3. The download link will be below, and be sure to go to FXpansion.com and check out BFD3 and check out BFD Crush.